And this is Brianna Crudup, Hip Hop United.
Hello, everybody. This is Brianna from Hip Hop United. Great to be chatting with you guys.
Hello.
How's everybody doing today?
Hello. Good. Thank you.
Good. So basically, I like the way it was put together. It showed the different opinions, scenarios, etc. I learned a lot. The things that I didn't know that police have to go through. With that being said, would you say that officers need more training?
Oh, absolutely. I think for me as a voting person in this country, I think the wrong terms was defund the police because that connotates that we want to take all the money out. So I can see where that offset wasn't, that message wasn't quite clear. To me, it's not defund, it's retrain and put the money into other areas for our law enforcement and other services that are needed. Absolutely. We need police reform, prison reform, big time. So absolutely, yes, they need to be retrained.
Definitely. Now, and how would you guys, what do you guys feel on just, implementing police brutality in the schools? Because a lot of people don't know, they're not trained, and they're not, they don't know what police are taught and stuff like that. So, what is your take on that?
Just to clarify your question, are you saying that kids should be taught about police brutality in schools?
Right, just something that can, in case they don't get this information at home, what's your take on it being in schools, that it's being taught in schools?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this is a thing that we need to talk about and that kids need to learn, and hopefully it is happening in the home. And I know that for a lot of Black and brown families it is, but for some, they may not have the resources to talk about it. But yes, I would hope that it's talked about in the schools, but I would hope that it changes so that we don't need to talk about it in the school. You know what I mean? I think that that's the goal of this, is that we want to make sure that we can change the system and change the training and that police officers are receiving, so it doesn't have to become a norm thing that we adjust to.
But there's a lot of things that would have to go with that, because you got to put back in history. Kids of other colors need to understand systemic racism, where it came from. They need to understand history, just to give, I think that kids should be taught what their rights are as a citizen when they're pulled over or riding their bike, or, if they're in the mall and the police harasses a group of kids. They should know their rights. But it has to go beyond that. You can't just tell them that. People have to understand where it comes from, why it still is existing, how to combat it in other ways. So I think that's the history. Kids don't have history. Even Black kids don't know Black history. White kids don't. We don't know our history in this country anymore. I did a movie, Harriet, briefly, real quick, and this was appalling. And the docent took us around the Black Museum, the National Black Museum, just to show us the museum before we had a premiere. And she was telling us that when she has people of other colors, they argue with her to tell her that, oh, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That was fake. That isn't real. Different parts of her history. White people and other people were arguing with the docent, telling her that our history wasn't real. People don't know our history. A lot of us don't know our own history. So it all is tied in together in order to really get a valid education and understanding, so that you know what your response and your rights are.